The tool that we will be doing next will be the key signature tool. Alright, it will be the key signature tool. Now, at the moment, I am entering some notes. So I'll continue with doing that. Now there's a tie here, so we use the equal sign for the tie. Right? Good. So at most we have some notes there going across the to enter in for the alto recorder. Right, let's continue here. These are all things that we would have been practicing. And should be able to do. Right, so one of the things that we were saying that I'm just going to look at automatically here is that whenever you need more measures, you just keep on typing and the measures will be entered accordingly. Alright. Realize that the spacing is a little bit out of usual. Alright, so use 0 and the same thing goes again. Alright, so there we are, having the amount of measures that would have typed up to. Alright. Wrong note. So if you just want to delete a note, well, you press the delete key. Wherever the delete key is on your keyboard. So, alright, let's just pause it right there. And just move over here and let's continue with the tenor recorder here. There needs to be a tie there, so I'm going to put it in. Good. Right, oh, I have one more to put in. Good. So there goes our score thus far. Alright. Now it is that we want to change the key. So we go to the key signature tool. Simple. Double click. And the menu comes up. Now when changing the key, you could hide the key signature and show the accidentals. Right? That's one option. You could change the key for a region. You would select what that region is. Measures 1 through to how much, and through to the end of the key. And if there's a next key change somewhere, you don't want it to change all throughout, change up to that key change. Well, that's the option that is on for default. Alright, just have one piece here. So, and change it to F major. Now at this juncture, it talks about the movement of the note or the transposition of the note. Right? Now this option ignores if you had a keyless passage. We will get into that at a later date. But for now, we're looking at transposing the notes down. Based on the range, if it should go up, this would be upper perfect fourth. Notes would be going higher and they would go outside the range of the instrument. Going down, it would go down a perfect fifth, so we want it to go down. You could also transpose or change the key. For example, you were type copying something as written, meaning you want a C there, you want a D there, you want a E there. But say for argument's sake that I forgot to put in the key signature as being A major. Alright. So I'm not really moving the notes will remain at the same spot. But you want to hold them enharmonically. Alright? You will use that option. If you want to hold them modally, meaning that it's not going to consider the spelling, it's going to just keep the pitch on that space. That's what you do. If you want to transpose all the different keys that you would have had in the piece proportionally, for example, you had a piece that had 2 key changes from C to D for argument's sake, and for whatever the reason you want to render it, usually vocalists have this issue. You'd want to render your typewritten score a tone and a half below. So you would want to have A major and B major. Then this is the option that you will use. So when it comes to the key change, it will proportionally move it based on what you would have hereby selected. Right, so that would have been all the types of key changes that we would have. So I'm going to go through a few to demonstrate. The first one is F major and transposing the notes down. Right, so right here, see we still have the music there. Notes are all moved down. Right, now let's go back to C. Good. Now, because we had the option of moving notes down, it continued moving them down. Alright, that was not my intention. So we should change it now to moving notes up. Then we'll get what we had previously. Okay, say that it was supposed to be spelled enharmonically. You could change it. Say B flat for argument's sake. Right? So what you realize happening is that the key, it maintained the intervals, and it would have given you pretty much the same sound in principle, but it would have respelt it based on the key. So if it were a B, would spell it as C flat, and we are seeing that there. Would maintain the E because we didn't have a E flat there. Right? So that's what it does when it spells it enharmonically, because it is actually in the position that we would have wanted it to be in. However, it would have been correcting the spelling thereof. Alright, so let me cancel that. Going to see what happens with it chromatically. Alright, I'm going to probably go. Right, so we're actually, for want of a better way of explaining it, still in C, but we have applied the G major key signature. So wherever it is that F appears, it's F. It's really not F sharp. So it puts in the natural there and maintains the pitches, right? Didn't change any of the pitches here. the other example that we had, it would have changed the pitches and also enharmonically moved the notes. Alright, so let's just undo that because I'm just doing this to demonstrate different ways that the key signature works. Now we are going to be holding them to the same staff lines. So this will still be at the same staff line. It will not consider any spelling changes. So here it is that we're at the same staff line, but it's now applying this key to the piece. Right, so the tonality of it would change based on the adjustments in terms of accidentals that we have here. Okay, so if it is that for any challenge that you would face where key signatures are concerned, then of course there's this tool that you would have to get intimately with. As I've always said, there is for almost all the tools a context menu, which after selecting the tool, you right click in the measure and a pop-up menu comes. So say for example we wanted this to be transposed to G major. I'm thinking it may go up. See? Right. Let's go back to our settings. What did we have in our settings? Right. So it actually transposed it the way that we would have wanted it to be transposed. Okay. So let's undo. Alright. So you can just select the key that you want it to be in from the side there, and immediately it changes the key. Okay, so let's just do a few. Alright, perfect. I'm gonna let it stay right where it is currently. Right, so that's the different applications and uses of the time signature tool, and whichever measure that you want to introduce another time signature, simply go to the measure, put whatever settings that you want to have, and change the time signature, the key signature, right? And if you notice, it's moving it in a modal way. So if you wanted it to transpose the notes, you would therefore have to have that selected, and here it transposed the notes. Okay, alright, good. So wherever you want to put your key signature, you should be now confident to do just that.